When you apply for a job where you may not meet all of the requirements or you don't have all of the skills that you think the employer is looking for, it can be tough. The first thing that I always tell people to do is don't make up stuff. Don't tell people that you've done things when you haven't or you know something when you don't. Because in the work environment, it's very easy to check. I can do a reference check, I can give you a test, I can see if you really know how to do something. So resist every temptation you've ever had to tell a fib or make something up. The first thing is to make sure that you really understand what the key requirements for the position are. I mean, the worst response you could give to that question would be, well, gee, I didn't know you had to do that if I was hired in this job. You know, you want to make sure that you actually know what the position requires. Employers really are looking for people that can hit the ground running. They want to minimize the learning curve. They want to hire someone that can get to speed as soon as possible. So there are a couple of things that you can think about. First, you can think about, well, in other situations, when did you have to learn something on the job? How quickly were you able to capture the skill? And how quickly were you able to apply that skill? And those might be the stories that you want to highlight for the employer, because if the employer feels like, well, okay, you did that for your other job, maybe I'm more willing to believe that you'll do it in this job. And then you always want to think about what I call our transferable skills, skills that you can take from one job to the next. And those skills are always make you employable. So you might want to think about what things have you done in other jobs that were similar to the job that you're applying for or for the task that you'd be responsible for, and respond to the employer telling them about how you handled those responsibilities. Another key thing that employers are looking for are people who are eager and willing to learn. So again, you can always say, you know, I would be diligent about learning everything that's required to do this job. I would, spend as much time as possible learning all the tasks that are associated with the job. I would be willing to ask my manager or other coworkers questions to make sure that I understood it, and then would take the time to actually learn and apply the skill. And if training were required, you may want to indicate that you'd be also willing to do that. Again, the willingness, the eagerness, showing that you're excited and willing to do it. If I were the employer, I'd be willing to take the chance.